Here on The Colour of Country Life, we're chatting with Angus Gidley Baird, Senior Proteins Analyst at Rabobank. How are you, Angus?
Not too bad, Ricky. Yourself?
Oh, I am great. Now, people who are doing really great are anyone who's selling beef on the cattle market, the live stuff that is. That's Eastern Young Cattle Indicator seems to have hit another record in the last week.
It has, yeah, and it keeps going up. I mean, as you said, though, anyone in livestock that's got livestock and able to sell them at the moment, a cracking year, really. Seasonal conditions have been pretty good. They're looking favourable for the forecasts as well, and prices just seem to keep going up, particularly cattle. Sheep, meat and lamb prices have been very strong, but it's the cattle ones that just seem to keep going up.
And looking at how things are going, I guess, in the yardings in some of our broadcast areas in the southern parts of Australia, maybe a little bit more mixed for them. It really seems to be Queensland and northern New South Wales where a lot of that activity is happening in the cattle market.
Yeah, it is, and you know, Queensland's got some recent good falls of rain, which has really stimulated some demand up there, and we've seen effectively that's probably caused the cattle indicators all to jump in the last couple of months as a result of that producer willingness to try and restock some of those properties or hold on to the cattle that they've got, leading to a bit of a reduction in numbers there. But yeah, you're right. Our slaughter and sale yard numbers still are just looking at our East Coast weekly slaughter numbers for November, they're still down 14% year on year and down about 30% on the 5-year average for cattle. So yeah, we've still got a lot less cattle in the system than we had a number of years ago, and as a result, that shortage in supply is helping keep prices high.
Yeah, I know our friends in the wine industry described the last vintage in the southern parts as a unicorn market, a unicorn vintage where you had the right growing conditions and a whole lot of things coming together. It seems to be a unicorn market for beef, really, doesn't it? Because even though they've had issues moving stock around due to the flooding and whatever else, supply is constrained, but prices continue to go up.
We've been really lucky. The current limited supply situation that we've got that's causing prices to go up, the favourable seasonal conditions that's causing strong producer demand has worked in our favour. They're driving our prices, but at the same time, we've got this favourable situation on the consumer side. So disruptions with COVID have led to increased retail sales. We've seen retail beef prices jump over the last year. I think they're up 15 or so % year on year at the retail space. We've also got strong demand from our global markets, which is, it's not driving the market, but it's accommodating these higher prices and allowing these prices to stay where they are.
Well, I know Pat Cummins couldn't play Test cricket because he went to a restaurant and was too close to someone who was a contact, but restaurants, opening up and more people turning up at them has got to be helping the price as well.
It does, and that's just fueling this demand, this consumer demand. So that consumer that had not been able to go out to restaurants previously and had decided to go and spend more on their steaks they're cooking at home has now got the opportunity to go out as well. So we've got that food service chain that's also starting to try and fill up its volumes, which is adding to this very strong market at the moment. So it's all favourable. Yes, it won't continue forever, but at the moment, the outlook for the next 12 months, we're still expecting favourable consumer demand, obviously limited livestock supplies and good seasonal conditions. So while we do expect it to ease as we start to see livestock numbers slowly creep up again, it's going to remain strong.
Is there anything else just to finish off on the sheep front? Any specifics in that market we've seen in recent weeks is worth making a mention about?
Oh, look, I mean, lambs have followed a similar sort of trajectory to cattle prices. Yes, their prices are off now, but that's normal this time of year. We've got the seasonal influx of lambs hitting the market, so generally more lambs available and prices are generally softer at this time of the year. But again, you look at lamb prices through the course of this year, and for most of the middle part of the year, they were setting new records as well. We've got very strong demand out of the US at the moment. US import prices are up 40 to 50% on this time last year, so that recovery in food service in the US is seeing big jumps in US demand, and we're seeing exports to the US are up 18% for year to date compared to last year. So that strong US demand is keeping our lamb prices very high at the moment too.
Well, it's been good to bring generally good news across the year for our beef and our sheep producers. Angus, great to have had you with us this year, and wishing you a Merry Christmas going into 2022.
Yeah, likewise you too, Ricky, and let's keep our fingers crossed that these seasonal conditions keep playing out and everyone has a great Christmas.